Good morning, Glow Getters. Hi, good morning, hello, and welcome. I am your host of the Glow Getter Show, Desiree Uzel, and I am so excited to have you here with me today. For those of you joining me on YouTube, this is just going to be a podcast recording. You get to see all the visuals of what it looks like for Des to record a podcast. Woo! For all of my podcasters, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's really exciting for me to be here today, and I can't wait to dive in. Today's show is going to be really short for you guys, pretty jam-packed, but it's just a little bit of my story, why I'm here, what we're doing here, what's the purpose, and get you primed and ready for the show. So without any more hesitation or ado, let's get into it. First of all, like I said, I am Desiree Uzel. I am your host of the Glow Getter Show. I am also an online health and fitness coach. I am the Chief User Experience Officer, co-founder, and head coach of Mind and Body Fit. Shout out Mind and Body Baddies. Shout out Bonnie. Shout out Tisha. Shout out all my other coaches. Shout out to the team. We just joined forces this year, so we're in a really exciting place, and I'm so happy to be a part of the family. Let's see. I'm also a mindset and spiritual coach, which is something that I've just started claiming and straightening my crown on. So I'm going to get used to saying that. You might hear that a lot more just because I need to get used to hearing it. And part of what we're doing here is getting used to hearing cool things like that. So a little bit about me. How the heck did I get here? Well, let's see. I guess I'm just like anyone else, right? We all experience some trauma early on in life. We all experience repeated trauma later on in life. And some of us end up giving into the rat race for a little bit. I don't know what just fell. Anyways, we're going to keep going. And so I did that. I did all the things I was supposed to do. And every time I wasn't very happy. Now, I also grew up an athlete and dancer. I loved food growing up, but never had to deal with my relationship with it until I went to college. When I went to college, I also experienced some traumatic romantic relationships. There's, I think, a lot of growth that goes on in that time. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, we all remember what it's like to be between the ages of 16 and 23. And even if it seems like everything's going great, it can still be like, nah, man, there's some stuff going on underneath, right? So for me, it just turned into a physical manifestation. I used food to soothe my pain and ended up gaining over 100 pounds. At my heaviest, I was 265. I'm 5'3" for reference, so that was a lot of weight on a little person, and it was really unhealthy. I lost the same 65 pounds 4 times, and then the doctor was like, okay, you get to lose the weight for real on your own, or I'm putting you on the mandatory surgery list. So I didn't want to have surgery. That scared me enough to like get myself together. So I lost 115 pounds. I was actually 125 at first. I've put 10 pounds on back in muscle. I have gone through so many phases of hating my body, beating up my body, bullying my body into being a certain way and expecting it to operate a certain way and look a certain way and satisfy someone else's standards. So for me, it started with the body and it kind of bled into everything else. Once I got to a certain point of plateau and then started going backwards, actually almost went backwards after losing 115 pounds, it was time to look at the mind, right? It was time to look at why I really couldn't break these self-sabotaging behaviors. Then after a couple of years of that, it was time to look at the spirit, get really comfy in the spirit, and how that plays a role in your overall health. So last year, I took the leap of faith and started marketing myself as an online health and fitness coach. I have been a personal trainer / nutrition coach for, gosh, 4 years. What is it? 2022, 3 years. 3 years. I was in the gyms for a little bit before COVID. Went through my own kind of spiritual awakening during COVID. And when the world reopened, I just needed to go back to something that was comfortable and familiar for a little bit. So I was dental assisting. I have a dental assistant certificate just to make things comfortable for a little while as I integrated all of this new information I had discovered about myself over COVID. And when I became officially the Glow Up Coach 1 year ago, it's actually my 1 year anniversary this week. So thank you for celebrating with me. That's part of the purpose of debuting today, is that it's a celebration of the birth of my baby, which is my coaching business, which has become Mind and Body. We'll get into all of that later. Anyways, so when I started coaching online, it was definitely mostly health and fitness discussion. There was some discussion of elevation, of evolution, of caring for the mind, body, and soul. But I never really shared a lot of intricacies and depth around these things. And to be honest, it's just come from a place of fear, of feeling like, who am I to teach and guide people in this journey that is never ending? Really, once you embark on like the true self-improvement and self-discovery journey, like it never ends, right? Those of us that are in it, we know that this is like for real forever. We're married to the life, right? So as much as I had learned before December 2nd of last year about like accepting my body, about loving my body for not only what it looks like, not only how it's shaped, but also how it feels, how it moves, how it takes care of me, what it can do, right? Like really coming to true acceptance and love within my body and my mind by this point, by last year at this point, because I was definitely in a place that I was obviously able to like invest in my business and really kind of get down to it. Like, let's be about it, talk about it, be about it. However, the spiritual journey for me was very personal, and it was partly selfishness, but mostly fear that kept me from discussing it with people. And what I realized in this last year as a businesswoman, as a coach, as a human, is that the woman that I attract, the client that I attract, the people that come into my life, the relationships that I attract naturally, like the ones that come easy and organically, are with people who are also searching for deeper meaning within their journey. So these are all people that feel like something is missing. And that's the common denominator. And if you're here and you feel like something's been missing, you're not crazy. You're not wrong. You're just different, babe. Like, you really don't, you're in a world that's not ready for you. Gosh. And I have so much to say about that, but I'm not going to get into it right now because we have so long together, and we're going to have whole episodes on this stuff. But you are in a world that is not ready for you. And so you have to be ready for yourself. I wasn't ready for myself. So I had a reading last night before coming into this episode that really like just chef's kiss. Okay. Like, it was perfect. It was just what I needed, of course, because they said You just need to show up and glow up, basically. Like, you just get to be. I'm in a place in my journey where I love myself. I trust myself. I believe in myself, but I am learning how to accept people loving me for just being me. Like, not for doing anything, right? Not for fulfilling some kind of monetary, financial goal, not for hitting some kind of numerical result, none of that, just for being alive. I get to learn how to let people love me just for being here. And that's really hard to accept. Why is it so hard to accept love? That's my lesson, right? Is that I'm not unlovable. And so I get to learn this in all the different ways until I die. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So that's why I'm in your space today. That's why I have created this podcast. For me, I just think it's so important that we have spaces where we can really be authentic and honest. And even within our own families, we don't have that sometimes. We can't get into these conversations with some of our best friends because we don't really actually trust them. And we don't really actually believe that they are going through the same journey. And the reality is some people aren't. Okay. This is, it is collective for sure. We all have to be moving in the right direction. But I believe that you can't worry about the collective. You can't help the collective. You can't aid the collective in anything until you get some true mastery of self. And that doesn't mean mastering all of it, because that, again, is a lifetime journey, right? That's why we're here in human bodies. We get to spend our existence figuring out how to master it. However, I think we can all hit a level of self-mastery that gives us the ability to raise our vibration, like really raise it, okay? And I'm talking about changing like unconscious behavior, okay? Not only changing it, but when it comes up, recognizing it and figuring out what to do with it if you need to do anything with it in that point. We're going to talk about divination. We're going to talk about ancestors. We're going to talk about angels. We'll talk about the stars. We'll talk about human design. We'll talk about gene keys. I have so much planned and in store for you guys, but I mostly just wanted to say thank you for coming. I appreciate you all. Thanks for listening to my story. For those of you that resonated, drop some love, drop some comments. Let me know on YouTube, you guys, how you felt about that. For those of you listening on the podcast, thank you so much. Please do reach out and let me know how it went in the DMs. I have my Instagram and Facebook attached to all of the links so that you guys can easily find me. So please go follow me on Instagram and Facebook. That way you can keep up with when new episodes are coming out. Also subscribe, save, so that you can be alerted when new episodes drop, because while this will be a slow, easy start for me, I'm feeling that I will actually be showing up with you guys very, very often. So you don't want to miss any shows, or you can at least see them when they pop up, save them, and watch them later, right? All right, guys. So again, Glow Getters, welcome home. Welcome home. And I can't wait to explore this fucking authentic space with you guys. It's going to be new for me too. So this is going to be really exciting. Sometimes things are going to come out of my mouth that shock me as well. But that's why the fuck we're doing this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, Glow Getters. I hope you have the best freaking Friday, or whatever day you're listening to this, of your lives. Catch you on the flip side. Mwah.